I'm joined now with Evan Kenny, and today we are chatting about what might be the last game of the 2021 NBA season with the Bucks and Suns NBA Finals. Now the Bucks are now up 3-2 against the Suns with Saturday's action. And Evan, can you kind of just recap what we really saw Milwaukee do on Saturday?
Yeah, Jasmine, it's been a huge turnaround for the Milwaukee Bucks. Obviously, they started off this NBA Finals series down 2-0, but they've come back and they've taken 3 games in a row here. And Jasmine, I think the biggest thing coming out of these 3 victories is just Milwaukee was able to get one of these on the road, which actually is the first win in the NBA Finals series here that has come on the road. So that's a huge turning point when it comes to the Milwaukee Bucks. Now they're forcing the Phoenix Suns to try and do the same thing on Tuesday night coming up here in Game 6 to try and force a Game 7. So that's very difficult, not only going on the road and trying to compete, but also trying to win that game in a do-or-die situation. As well, Jasmine, the reason they were able to push this to Game 6 and win 3 in a row here is because of the Milwaukee Bucks defense. Now, this team was built with a defensive mind in mind. Now, they've really turned up that system to a whole nother degree, and it starts with arguably their best defensive player. And yes, this is arguably because obviously they have Giannis Antetokounmpo on that roster, but Jrue Holiday has absolutely gone off when it comes to this finals in these last 3 games specifically. He is on the duty of guarding either Chris Paul or Devin Booker, 2 unbelievable offensive players. Now, in that time, Chris Paul does not turn the ball over very often. He averages 2 or less turnovers per game throughout this entire playoff run here for the Phoenix Suns, totaling up to 22 turnovers in total. Now, in these final series here, being guarded by Jrue Holiday, he's turned the ball over 18 times, which is just 4 less than, those 3 rounds combined. So Jrue Holiday has really picked it up, and he's led this team defensively here.
And we've seen how much Jrue Holiday has really shined. As you can see it in that one of those last plays in Game 5 where he took that ball from Devin Booker right and got that alley-oop with Giannis. Now that also shows maybe what the Suns need to do in these upcoming games. They can't rely on Devin Booker to carry their offense, and they need some of their bench players to step up. We need to see some more threes going in, and we need to actually see the shots going in. They might be attempted, but actually go in. And I think the Suns really need to start moving their offense around a bit more. Booker and Paul are being leaned on, and maybe too much. Booker hasn't had too much playoff experience, and now being in the NBA Finals, yes, he's dropped 40 points, but maybe he needs to see his other players do some more action and get some more assists. But coming up for this Game 6, what do you think that the Bucks need to do to secure the win?
Well, Jasmine, just touching on your point quickly, I think you were spot on, right on the money there, and just adding to that, the Phoenix Suns, their bench has been one of their strongest points, especially being able to come off the bench and play a little bit of a two-way game for those young players. They haven't been able to quite do that. They're getting outscored, possibly 14 or so points from those bench players. So those guys really need to step up. You're right, spread out that offense a little bit there. Now for the Milwaukee Bucks, if they want to seal it out on Tuesday night, their big players need to show up. Obviously, Giannis Antetokounmpo, 2-time NBA MVP, could be the Finals MVP moving forward here. He's going to continue on his tear, but it's those other 2 guys, the Chris Middletons and the Jrue Holidays for the Milwaukee Bucks, who need to step up. In those first 2 games, each of those guys, I don't want to say they were lackluster, but they definitely weren't playing at their best, Jasmine. Now, after those first 2 games, they've really stepped up. Each of them is averaging 7 more points at least than they did in those first 2 games, with Jrue Holiday averaging 20 points in the past 3 games, and Chris Middleton 29. So they really need to come and complement Giannis Antetokounmpo if they want that victory.
And we've seen, as you mentioned, the Bucks defense quite amazingly throughout this postseason, and the Suns offense maybe needs to step up even further than what they have the few past games. But speaking of Giannis as Finals MVP, I think a lot of people see him as the front runner right now if Milwaukee wins. But if the Suns come back, there is the decision, will it be Booker, will it be Paul? And I think a lot more people are leaning towards Booker just because he has dropped 40-plus points in multiple games, and he has been consistent for Phoenix compared to Paul, where he did have the one off game. But for right now, Giannis is the front runner. But you think even there could be a kind of a dark horse in this race?
Yeah, Giannis is definitely leaps and bounds, to put it on the lower side there. He's definitely leaps and bounds ahead of most of the players in this series. You're right. Devin Booker, obviously, the guy can score like there's no tomorrow. He's proved it over his short NBA career thus far, and he's just continuing that in the playoffs. So I think he's the front runner if Phoenix does come back and push this to a game 7. Obviously, Chris Paul, like you mentioned, he's had the odd off game, but he's really taken a bulk of carrying this Phoenix Suns team to this point. But another guy for the Milwaukee Bucks, like you said, maybe a little bit of a dark horse in this race. Chris Middleton, already mentioned him. He's really stepped up, especially, dropping 29 points in that one game, that game 1, that Giannis Antetokounmpo was injured. He's really stepping up, and he's starting to take control and make some of those clutch shots. So I think there is the argument, seeing how these next couple of games possibly go here for Chris Middleton to be the MVP.
Well, it should be an interesting game no matter who wins on Tuesday night, and maybe we will be seeing a Game 7 on Thursday. Thank you so much, Evan Kenny.
Yeah, thank you, Jasmine.